reach over here and get to where people. There you go. Alrighty then. Welcome back. We're back live again, and we got everybody this time. We were able to scrounge them all up. I'm kidding. Life gets in the way.
Hey,
Holidays.
adulting.
But we're all back, and back for the fun time. So, basic last time we left off, as some party members have been asking. We said you guys had rested after coming back from the sewer adventure that you had done overnight, and kind of after resting and everything, and you went to go look for people to discuss what had kind of happened, and upon kind of entering an office and discussing with a few people there, you set up a meeting with what is basically like the civil services kind of division of the town, one of the leaders of that. And while you were doing that, you discussed with the person at the desk what else is going on around town, and you found some different seminars and other things like that, things of interest, a potion making class, a lecture about creature anatomy and things like that. And so deciding to kind of take the time to do all of that, you met a fantastical potion maker at his shop who taught you a few things and gave you a few things as well, and even you bought some potions, some other accoutrements, and even a set of alchemist supplies to get you started with potion making on your own when you get the chance. You then took the time to go to this lecture about creature anatomy, which no one really retained much information about, but promptly asking him questions about oozes. You met the Tabaxi teacher, who seemed to also be one of the also kind of heads of the town, almost kind of working more in those kinds of things and teaching about this sort of stuff. He got curious, asked you about things, the white fur Tabaxi named Snowflake, as you found out, and decided to, upon your asking him, accompany you to this meeting. And so you had this meeting where you discussed all of the things going on in the sewer and promptly offered them a chance for you all to map the sewer, which, after a little bit of approval, would more than likely be able to happen. So you've gotten a small job of mapping the sewer if you want to get what you guys are saying, some kind of standing and clout and things like that. But finding out what else to do the rest of the night, you found a kind of a block party down on one of the lower layers and decided to go make your way down there. And there was food, dancing, very, very simple, but Goodbrand, with his keen eye, noticed a strange hooded figure darting through an alleyway, and upon trying to chase him and even cast spells to keep him at bay, to keep him close, he promptly got away. And upon seeing him enter into what looked like a wall and a door closing, with no such door now in sight, he promptly made it back his way to what looked like a shop that seemingly was broken into, a small general store, and with Artis's help was able to kind of discern a few things and find the store owner and figure out what was stolen and everything like that. And upon kind of leading and deciding to discuss it with the rest of the group at a different time, the rest of the block party went on until you guys felt tired enough to go and rest. So, we are now at that point. You guys have gone back up to the tavern you guys were staying at, promptly filled mostly with food from the block party. You pretty easily just went to your rooms and rested. Now the next morning's kind of coming very easily. If you need to prepare spells, you can do that. But you all kind of come down one at a time at different intervals. Some a little bit tired from partying a little bit too much, dancing a little bit too much, but no one went too crazy, except Walrus. You feel like you have a rock in your gut. You ate a lot. You ate a lot. It's not a feeling that is unfamiliar, but it is a feeling of like, I ate a lot. Even now this morning, you feel it.
That's fair.
So, With that being the case, you have the day about you.
We had no plans for the morning, but we still need to check back and see whether we've got approval.
Well, I think that this sewer job is going to take a lot of time. We could get started on it right away. We don't really have anything else to do, and again, we may find something we are looking for down there to lead us further to this Thieves Guild. We could also go back and check on that hidden entrance down in the lower levels, but I think that's more of a direct assault and might get us noticed a little bit more.
Artist looks around at where the music's coming from.
Dillon, real quick, can you turn the music down a little bit?
Is it too loud? Sorry, this is a new setup. I'm still trying to adjust where it's at.
I had to strain my ear to hear him.
Sorry.
I couldn't hear anything he said.
I am sorry, I will speak a little bit louder. It's not my normal way.
I do like the secret entrance idea.
No, I don't think that is the right course of action. But
we just break down the wall and there we go. Obvious entrance.
Well, it's kind of public and not our town, and we're trying to make a good impression, so smashing holes in walls probably not the best idea yet. Maybe a plan B or C.
I am sure that these people are very good at that. Don't think that I don't think that would be the right course of action. We don't know enough about what is going on, who might be protecting them, or what might be protecting them. If we rush in head on, it might put us in more danger than we can handle. We'd be better off going and finding items in the snow with a dragon. I fear people more than I fear the wilds.
Well, you're just not very social.
Does have a point, though. At least with monsters, you know where you stand. With the elements, you know where you stand. With people, you don't always know where you stand.
People are not always as honest and forthright as...
If you hit them hard enough, you're always standing above them. So.
I guess that's true, yes.
Anyone can be persuaded with fists.
That is not
true. Except like turtles. But they cheat.
It might not have been the music, because I can hear everyone loud and clear.
But
a good brand is not
coming me still. Hold on. Let me see if maybe my settings. Nope, that's all right. Nope, yes it is. That's the problem.
Oh, hi everybody. Am I sounding better now?
Yes, you are audible.
It was after I heard other people speak, and it's like, no, it's your volume. There's something.
Yeah.
It was on my camera's microphone. I need to disable that. I'm going to go do that now.
It sounded like a radio host just came on the air.
Way! Welcome to... Sorry, it's the Shock Jock Hour.
We still haven't given ourselves a name.
I've given us a name in my heart.
Oh no.
No. No.
Your heart of hearts.
In my heart of hearts.
Our heart of hearts is dumb.
We are the wrong writers. But
hang on, the wrong writers.
The wrong writers.
So bad.
So
I've been waiting for you to say that, and then an NPC mishear you and think that you're the wrong writers, like you write into the wrongs.
That's what I heard.
Not like you're righting wrongs; it's like you're writing into the wrongs.
None of this
We're-
matters.
we're-
It's all terrible.
We're the people they recruit by accident. We're the wrong people.
Look, if we really wish to go into the sewers and map them out, and look, if that's what you guys want to do, that's fine. I'll tag along just to make sure no one gets hurt. But
I want cheese powers, so I'm for that.
You
Okay.
did try and
You
punch
should
breakfast.
not eat the cheese.
He
Oh.
said he wasn't sure, so maybe. So
No. Have you ever heard of the term sarcasm?
yeah. Why would he be sarcastic about the powers of cheese?
Because what you were asking is foolish. And he
I
was
don't think it
making fun
is.
of you.
I don't think he was.
I mean, a good cheese can be a powerful experience.
Exactly,
I am-
right? So if it's like a super creepy cheese that tries to eat you and you eat it, maybe you get creepy cheese powers.
I may not be good at using the social cues for my own personal preferences in game, but I can read them quite well. And that,
do it.
my friend, was sarcasm.
But I'm still
You
doing
were being made fun of.
But that's not very
afraid. I
nice.
think he
Don't
was
eat.
afraid. He was afraid of my revolutionary idea.
The cheesy truth.
Yes, see, he understands.
The next time we come across one, feel free to eat
I'm gonna try
all of
it.
it.
I'm gonna eat a bit of it.
Yes. It will either be delicious or it will kill you.
Well, you know,
So,
that's
win-win,
most food.
right?
it's most food. That's why I don't eat strawberries.
Are you allergic to strawberries?
That wasn't good.
That is sad. Strawberries can be delicious with a
I
little
ate one
bit of
once, my
marshmallow
whole
cream
tongue went. "Ugh."
mixed together and you put it on and it's really good.
I don't know. It was like one time. Didn't go well.
Well, look, shall we go into the sewers? Is that what we're all doing?
Well, we need to go to the council office first and see if we got approval to go into the
Alright.
sewers.
Oh,
Okay.
right, yes.
I'm sure we can get approval. I'm sure we can sway some opinions. We can get approval pretty easily.
Oh, we did our bit. It's above the guys that we convinced.
And whether they are willing to pay us or not.
There's always another man to bribe.
Well,
We are
you've got
trying
the
to get
money for
paid, not
bribes.
to pay people.
Hey, you don't always need money to bribe.
All right, we can leave that to you then.
So assuming you're heading to the offices to ask permission, I would just to expedite it. The gentleman you met last night, who is Alanis, isn't available. He's in some other stuff, but the people at the desk tell you that approval has been made, and that you're to head back to that if you were looking to continue that, is to go talk to Foreman Sunez, which was the half-orcan gentleman that you originally spoke to about the sewers. So if that is what you wish to do, that is who you would talk to. Other than that, unless you have any other
Anything
questions.
better for us to do? Did they tell us how much they were going to pay us?
They don't. They tell you they don't have that information at the moment.
It's pretty important information. I mean, if we
think-
go down there and we do all this work for you and you give us like 5 gold, I mean, that is not.
Well, we could just
We don't give them the map.
yeah.
That is true.
Then we
We
could sell it to their enemies, and their enemies. Anyway, let's go.
We can just draw up an incorrect map for them.
Oh, do 2 maps. 1 incorrect, 1 correct.
Correct one for us, the incorrect one for them.
If we hand them an incorrect map, and they pay us, regardless of the amount, they will then, as soon as they find out it's a fake map, they will try and hunt us down and arrest us for committing what is essentially fraud.
But we give them the real
And I
map
thought
once
the
they
whole
give us
point of
money.
this was to get a good reputation. That's the whole reason we're doing this. And committing fraud is probably not a good idea.
It's not fraud if they're committing extortion.
I think
like-
it is still fraud. And since
We
they
keep
are the
listing
law,
crimes,
it
and you're like,
is-
it's not this crime, it's this crime. But if it's not that crime, it's this crime. And if it's not that crime, it's this crime. Just get it all
I'm
the list
stranger
down.
to wrongdoing. Always for the right reason, though.
Sure. Well, assuming you weren't yelling about fraud right in front of them, we're doing this outside. I mean, it's up to you guys. You have that. You have other things around town. I mean, you could still look around, investigate, see if there's anything else, shop, do whatever you'd like. I'm just letting you know. They're not forcing you to do anything like that. So it's up to you guys what you were looking to do.
Well, Goodbrand and I still need to check out that wall. I don't know if anyone wants to come with.
I'm
I
very
don't think-
interested in walls.
don't think that is something that we need to do now. It is something that we have in our back pocket. We do later.
I
But again, that is tantamount to a full frontal assault on the guild, and don't-
How do we know they're affiliated with the guild?
well, that is what the locals thought.
Oh, okay.
They said that the guild has been stealing from them a lot lately, and that this was not uncommon, and that it was probably them. And it was where I caught the man who was stealing going, was through that door, so...
see if a group of us went and sort of had a very loud conversation by the wall. I would use a silent image to disguise the fact that I wasn't actually facing the rest of you and was in fact searching the wall behind you.
What
Well,
if
again, unless we plan on going in, I don't see why this is something that we need to do right now. We know where it is. I made a mark, and it is easy to find, and I can remember my way back there for sure.
That
It
is
will not. It is not.
Or a magic
But what if,
That's what we need to determine.
consider this, now they know that you know that's a secret entrance. What's to
I
stop
don't think
them
that
from...
they know that.
Well, I mean, you chased them.
I did, but I only barely saw him. Like, very much. I don't think that he knew that I would have seen that.
That may be the truth. I'm just slightly worried that if they do know, then they may make attempts to seal up that entrance or hide any evidence of that ever being an entrance.
Or hide.
So be it.
Vanish.
That is one of the reasons we are going into the sewers to begin with, is to try to find other places. I think that this wall is, pardon the pun, a dead end.
Okay. To the sewers.
It is not up to me, though.
I vote sewers?
I think the sewers are the best option right now.
So it sounds like we're going to the sewers. So, assuming that's going to be the case, you head back to the same, like, shed-like building where you met the half-orc gentleman before, and after knocking a few different times, you hear him kind of shovel back up to the door and kind of open it with a kind of rusted noise, and kind of just looks at you all and is like, "Ah, you're back again. The draw of the sewers
Yeah.
takes a hold of you."
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm,
I just love the sewers.
mm. I don't like your sarcasm.
We saw the last girl you tried to hit on.
Ah!
You see the Harkin gentleman like take a beat, look at the two, and just be like, "Ah, I get you." That makes a lot of sense.
We have a contract to map the sewers.
Oh, finally gonna get it done right. I've been asking for it for I don't know how long, to be honest. Well, hopefully you do well. Assuming. Well, I'll just walk you over there. He kind of starts walking you guys over to the entrance that you guys came from, but he starts just casually describing the other entrances on this side, assuming that you guys are going to focus on this side first. You know, if you do only one side or both, that there's basically every 3 layers there's an entrance to one, and there's a way to access the sewers from basically there are some areas that are cordoned off that only one entrance will be able to get you to, and then there's some areas that kind of connect the multiple. It's almost like it's in multiple sections. It's the best way I can describe it. And each of those sections are sometimes connected and sometimes not. So you might have to leave, go to a different entrance, and come back in for other places that you weren't able to quite reach. But he kind of brings you over there and he kind of shows you where the entrances are. Kind of, there's a tool that he has to use to open them. There's like a metal covering over it, and he shows you how to use it and then hands you one. He hands it to Artis because why not? And he just kind of describes it and says, take however long you need. I know, it's assuming you won't want to be down there for very long, but who knows?
Gonna take the time to map this out properly, so
No.
could be several days for
No.
this side.
I appreciate a good work ethic for sure. And I mean, if there's anything else dangerous down there, I'm assuming you'll take care of it, or you'll let me know. I can get other saps to take care of it.
Yeah, it will be fine.
Well, yeah, we're very capable.
That's good to hear. You were capable before, I'm assuming you're still capable.
I'd like to think we haven't lost any of our capabilities.
No, that's good.
Is there anything we need to know about any of the other levels?
He says basically not particularly. Nothing that you haven't pretty much already seen. There's no like strange oddity of the other levels or anything like that. But yeah, he kind of gets into some crazy story that makes no sense. but it is obvious that it has nothing to do with what you were asking. He's just like, there's one time, and it just goes into some story that isn't even about the sewers. You realize it's about something. It's about something else, and he's just like, oh no, there's nothing strange, I would say, in the other parts.
What about as far as the layout goes? Any problem areas? Any sewer locks? Anything?
No, other than just if you watch your step. You know, sometimes there's a big drop. Other than that, not much else.
Okay.
Alright, that sounds simple.
I take a bit of fleece, or sorry, it's moss, and I rub it on my my mace, and I head down into the sewer.
All right.
And I'm just gonna visualize a story to tell a good old what's it called again? Tale from Beyond.
All right. I'll roll for you because I
Thank you
still
very
don't have
much.
it as easy for you right quite yet, but I'll do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was me casting light, by the way.
Yeah, I assumed.
Okay.
I figured it out. I read the riddles. I saw the tales. You got 2, which is warrior. Make a melee spell attack against the target as an attacking spectral warrior briefly appears in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the target before vanishing. On a hit, the target takes force damage equal to 2 rolls of your bardic inspiration die plus your charisma. I think I have that. Yeah, that's in your sheet.
Cool.
So
I will find that and take note.
yeah, it's the melee attack and the force damage.
Does
Cool.
anyone have continual light? As opposed to just light?
Well, I can just cast this all day. So.
Yeah, he basically casts it and it turns his mace into a torch almost. For,
I also know
for a long
light.
time. Yeah.
No one's got continual light?
Well,
I don't know if that's a spell.
I
in 5e.
think
don't have
they
it
turn
prepared.
continual light into light.
No, they have.
There used to be
continual
2
light still,
different
but-
spells.
They have it, but I just don't have it prepared.
Oh.
Oh, I think he's talking about continuous flame.
No, continual light. is
Go
permanent.
continuous flame. Yeah, I think that's the one
Yeah.
I'm thinking about.
Yeah, because light is just light, and then flame's the one that makes flame forever. I think
I
that's
don't
what they
want
turned
flame.
continual light into.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise,
So
that spell doesn't
continual-
make any sense.
Continual light was awesome.
Well, continual flame, I think, does the same thing. It just makes a flame that will never go out.
Mhm.
It doesn't burn.
Technically, no. You can put it underwater. It basically
Yeah, it looks like regular flame, but it creates no heat and
no
doesn't use
heat.
oxygen.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a compromise.
yeah.
When we get access to that, I want to know. Please.
I can
It's a
prepare it
cantrip.
tomorrow.
It is not a cantrip.
Oh, it isn't? Oh.
Continual flame is level 2 and requires ruby dust worth 50 gold pieces, which the spell consumes.
What am I thinking of then?
Happily pay that cost for my ever-burning lantern.
Yeah, I mean you could easily do that. You could put that in a lantern and have it forever if you wanted to. You would just have to find a way to cover it at some point. Because
That's a good thing about a hooded lantern.
yeah. Oh yeah, you said hooded. I thought you said just lantern. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Either
could
way.
do that at some point once you get 50 gold for the ruby.
Gold.
Well,
We'll say you
that
can
might
do
be
it.
good.
You can do it pretty easily, either in the morning or after you get done with this. For today.
Awesome.
Either way. So getting back down, you kind of go back down the ladder with the same kind of rusted bottom steps. But you kind of have to, for good kind of getting off, you have to kind of leap a little bit down. Nothing too bad or anything like that. And then basically you help everyone else kind of come down as normal, except for Walrus, who's tall enough to basically just step down. And once you kind of all get to the bottom, you're greeted with the same interior as you were before. And kind of, I'll say, it's only been 2 days. Artis, you've been in enough places that are similar to sewers. You've been in enough tombs and things like that. You have a general remembrance of the layout, and you've kind of sketched the map that you had kind of showed off. You kind of still have that sketch of it. So you have a good starting point. So you can start going to the places you have not been to kind of keep going with that. Are you guys just planning on just mapping out? Are you trying to do something in the meantime? Are you looking for...
I am on the constant lookout for secret entrances or
That's what I
doors or anything.
Mapping and searching.
Yeah, okay, I was assuming that. Just wanted to make sure. Then why don't... Whoever is looking for those kinds of things, make an investigation check. Would be.
I will try and.
Can I just
Do some stuff.
assist him in doing that?
You can assist someone if you'd rather do that.
Yeah, because my investigation is garbage.
And
That's
I-
a better idea. We'll do that.
So of
Nice.
course I roll an 18. But you get to roll with advantage now.
Advantage. I think.
Like I said, as soon as it doesn't matter.
Hey! Hey!
Hey, you helped him roll an 18.
It's Providence.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you guys are mapping out, let's assume a few hours go by, and continuously like doing the winding tunnels and everything like that. So far, not really any evidence of that. You don't see any like cracks in the walls that make sense for entrances, even if they could be moved. You don't see, locked gates or anything like that. All the small like tunnels that kind of the sewer is built out of are like too small for any human to really go into. Other than, a few spots where obviously people have been walking, which, to be honest, you can't really tell if it is additional people or workers at that point, because there's no like defined evidence of boot prints or anything like that. There's just some areas that were obvious there's no like dust or grime as much. But, people have been walking, but not sure who necessarily. There's not really any kind of defined like evidence of that kind of thing for at least the first couple hours. But you start making progress on the map. Luckily, you took a good amount of time during your first time here to start, so you're starting to make a good amount of progress. You still don't know how large these sewers are, but they you definitely have a lot at the moment, to the point where you're at the point where either you guys have to either go down one of those large drops somehow, or leave and go down to another entrance at some point. Because you guys mapped out a good amount of this one area when you were first here. So a couple hours and you're pretty much gotten this section as done as you.
Nice. So what shall we do next, everyone? I've kind of run out of sewer, at least at this point. We're going to climb down, or we're going to take the door?
I don't mind climbing down.
Wait, the door leads. Do we know where the door leads?
There's the entrance you guys came in. You could leave that entrance, go down like the lifts and things to go down to a different entrance and go in through that entrance. Or there are a few like drop-offs that don't have a ladder or anything that drop at least about 80 or so feet down, that you guys could find a way down that way if you really wanted to. I mean, some of you have climbing gear and stuff, which you could do, but it is easier to just go back. Other than that, it takes a little bit more time to do.
When do we ever do the easy thing?
If we go the doorway, then it'll be easier from a mapping perspective, because I'll know this floor, we come in, we do this, we meet this point here, that's where the map connects up. But if there's an entrance or a sub-level in between,
That's what I'm thinking.
would need to use one of the chutes. Or we can go to the door, map the level as best we can, come back up, and then climb down and double check everything for completion's sake.
How many levels are there?
In this, it's hard to define. There are, for the sewers, you're not sure if any of them are actually connected to each other at the moment, but he described there being 3 main levels, but they cover multiple layers of like the cliff side. Like each one of those covers 2 to 3 layers. So there's basically, assuming you none of them are connected to each other, you'd have to leave and go to either the second or the third section.
Okay.
I think the best course of action for me to do an accurate map is we leave and go into the second section. We map that, and if it doesn't match up, some of those drops don't show up on these other levels, then we'll have to come back and see where those drops go.
I agree with that.
Where are the drops? How far are they away from where we are right now?
The closest one, for convenience sake, let's say, is about a
Is it,
15
like, on the
minute
way
walk.
back?
Yeah, or on the way. Yeah, we'll even say on the way back.
But on the way back, I just kind of want to go to one of the drops and like put light on like a copper and toss it down.
Yeah. So doing that with this drop, kind of watch it. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it goes. Hard to tell distance, but your guess is around 90 to 100 feet down.
Did I see anything like on the walls, like any other entrances or
It's
anything
hard
like that?
to tell, but I would say at the moment, no. You didn't get the best look because you're kind of glancing over an edge, but you didn't see anything like out of the ordinary.
So if there's any like other holes, they're right underneath me, and so I can't see them.
Yes. If there was, it would basically be pretty close to underneath you, but yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if we find that coin. It should glow for a few hours.
Like an hour.
Yeah, that's a good point.
1 hour. So we can have a look
Oh.
at that.
1 hour. Well, we might make the second entrance, and if we try and make a beeline for the approximate area,
Let's
Well,
worry
once
about
his is-
mapping. I am not very worried about the piece of property.
Once
oh,
this is down, I can also use my light.
I was thinking more along the lines of it'd be a good indicator if it does connect. If we suddenly
That's-
see light up ahead and go,
Yeah,
"Ah,
I
it's the
will
Brett's coin."
say in technicality, because we love technicalities in D&D. Once you cast it on the copper, you do lose it on your mace. So you can either leave
I
it
know.
on the copper and have someone else cast light, or you can just cast it on your mace again, but the copper will be done. It's up to you.
I cast it on my mace and I continue on.
Okay, so but you guys suddenly see the light down below blink away, and see the torchlight appear back on his mace from the moss. And he's just like, he just shrugs and continues walking away.
So, I'm not what you'd call intelligent, but how do we know we're mapping the right part if we don't know where this part is?
We have not put it on any maps yet. We are going to make a second level, and if we find my coin... Here.
Right, but now the coin's not lit up.
It's too
That's
bad
how-
that coins
how do
that
we-
aren't alight are invisible somehow.
Well,
Disappear.
no, it's like it's a sewer, isn't it? Right. So what's to say there aren't other coins?
Watch. And I take like a small knife, and I put an X, I carve an X into a copper coin, and I toss it down. Now we will know. There will be 2 coins. One of them has an X. Easy.
Okay, I mean that works. I was gonna say we send like one person down and then like have them sit there and wait, but I guess the coin works.
I may not be a smart man, but
I
I know
don't-
what mapping is.
I have
Or,
heard
we
rumors
follow
about
someone.
splitting parties and how
actually,
it's a bad
that's
plan.
not too bad an idea, Walrus.
Hey, I had
If
an
we
idea.
lowered someone down and had them put a mark on the entrance to that tunnel where it meets the bottom of it, then when we come across that point at a later period, we can see that mark on the wall and go, aha, rather than trying to find a dark copper coin in a sewer.
Yeah, that's
And
That
we can
makes
pull that
total-
person
yeah.
back up again.
that makes more sense than my plan, which was to sit there.
We lowered the light one then. Skull, are you ready?
I guess. I mean, I am rather dexterous. I think I should be fine.
Actually, you're pretty tall though. Artis is short and skinny. Well,
This
shorter.
is short.
Well, Elfla said he was like 6 something.
I'm 6'3", but I am quite skinny. Well,
Yeah.
I'm very skinny.
How tall are you, Artis?
I don't know what 6'3" is. I'm 175 centimeters.
Ah.
I have no idea.
Well, why don't we just go by weight? Wouldn't that make more sense? Than try to
75
You
kilograms.
people in your kilograms.
184 pounds. Darn. We'll never know.
Oh no, I definitely weigh like 2 something. It's definitely not mere walrus.
Well,
And you are definitely
Yeah,
not
let's
lowering
lower
the princess
walrus
down
down.
there.
okay, hold on. Okay, all right. Again, I'm not like
Smart man.
clear and smart, but if we tied off all the rope, couldn't I just climb down?
We
Where
need
are we going to
something
tie the rope to?
Do we know if the rope's that strong, Walrus?
It's
Also, the
rope.
rope is not that long.
You guys
We
ha-
got
you guys
more
have-
than one set of rope.
I just double checked all your guys' inventory. So you have 3 sets of 50 feet hempen rope. You also, Artis is the one person, he has pittons and a hammer. So you could you could either someone be holding the rope and let someone down, or you could set up an actual like climbing set down. But you have enough rope, it seems like. You tie them together. Just depending on who you're wanting to go down, what's easier.
Bad at math, but he knows 5 plus 5 is 10, and he just added a 0.
Mathematician way.
So we've
Oh.
got the rope. Right. Well, I put a spike in the wall.
I would know how to type really good maths. Never mind. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because as much as I respect Efla and Artis, I don't know if leaving him alone in a sewer is the greatest plan.
Listen, we are going to
Especially
climbing
'cause-
down.
Clang!
But we might as well all just climb down.
Artis
Clang!
can't see in the dark.
Clang!
Make a strength check, Artis. 'Cause
Oh,
just because I'm curious how long it takes you.
You fall 90 feet and die.
No, it's not a triple check. 20. That's pretty good. Yeah, those 3 hits get it in firm enough that you think it would hold, pretty much any of you guys' weight. Not all at once, but definitely if just one person's going down, it could 100% hold anybody.
Who's good at tying knots?
me.
Awesome.
Is that okay?
You know,
I have the sailor background. I was
do.
Oh,
like
fair
tying
enough.
knots is my
you
thing.
do, and you do it fairly quickly. You know the exact knots to tie the ropes together and to tie it to this. And you kind of set it all together, and you are feeling
Also,
the ropes.
Goodbrand has like a light interest in shibari, but we don't talk about that.
don't reveal too much about me now. So you get it all tied off, and you kind of pull it, and you realize it is fairly strong in there at the moment. Luckily
It's a
enough,
weird
you
quirk
guys-
all my characters have for some reason.
yeah, you found. Why do you think they call it Dungeon Master? Heyo.
Yes. Quite telling
of
about
course
you
I,
as a
of course I
person.
had to make that joke. Of course I did.
Yes.
Luckily, Artis seemed to have found a crack in the stone and hammered it just well enough that it is fairly strong. And you actually think, you're not proficient in rock climbing or anything, but you feel like it could hold your weight, even with all your armor, if you wanted to go. But you feel like it could hold anybody, with your knots and the firmness of this.
okay, so who wants to go down?
Now I'm just being.
I'll go. I'm happy to go. I can look after myself and
Okay, keep an eye on the walls around you because we don't know if there's any other entrances on the way down or any large pipes.
yes, that
When you get to the bottom, put an X with a circle on the top of it. And then
okay,
just-
let me just check. I have something. I have daggers. I can kind of
Here,
cutaway, I guess.
take this. I hand him one of the pittons because they're hardened and made for being hammered into stone.
That makes sense, yes. Right. I will.
All right, make an athletics check.
Okay. Has to be
It
athletics.
does. 13. It's not extremely difficult, luckily enough. It is a pretty much almost flat stone wall with a rope and everything. You other than a couple times that you slip a little bit and get a slight bit of rope burn on your hands. Nothing bad, just something that'll be annoying. You get down, you finally plant your feet down at the bottom, and you can see the light coming off the top. Along the way, you kind of were looking with your dark vision and everything, trying to see. You didn't see any, like, thing strange with the wall, other than, like, the slight indent on the wall that seemingly helps this, like, small bit of liquid waterfall kind of come down the side of it and land in the other trench. There didn't seem to be any secret entrance hole otherwise along the side, but you get down to the bottom and pretty quickly you see that along one of those sides is just like kind of separated by about 10-ish feet, look to be like just two copper pieces just sitting around, and then you can see the tunnel continue along and curve.
Okay. Well, I will grab that piton and just kind of make a considerable marking in the wall.
Okay, make a strength check. Just
It's always strength.
yeah. Why wouldn't it be? No.
Can I charisma into
No,
the wall?
I was about to make that joke. Hey, Pitten, I would really like you to jam into the wall, please. 7. Yeah,
Hey, wall.
you make a marking. It's not as deep as you would have wanted it to, but you do make a marking nonetheless. So you are pretty confident that if you find this tunnel again, you know what that marking looks like.
Yeah, I can recognize it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Are you staying there, or are you climbing back up?
I should probably come up. I think that's the safe option.
We should have the walrus lift him so
When
that
he
he's
grabs
not.
the rope,
Just
pull him up.
Yes.
I mean, we could.
You could
It's
easily
the
do
fast
that.
way. Otherwise,
I will.
we
Yeah,
take
I
Tie it
will-
around your waist.
Yeah, I'll tie it around my waist.
Thank you.
Just kind of like over my shoulder and just. I kind of like give it a gentle tug to say that I'm ready.
Okay, Walrus, you make a strength check as well.
Okay.
Just because I'm curious.
It's-
Um,
That's not great.
you both rolled the same number, but have a better bonus. 12 total. Not great. And he has to. I'll count his 13 from earlier. He does have to like walk up the wall as you're pulling to get any progress. But
It's
luckily
reasonable.
enough, it makes the not too difficult to climb up. It just takes a good amount of time to do it. But once you finally get up there, you have the whole set of rope, and you have your bard back up at the top. At the back.
I unhitch the knots and.
I
I
whack.
mean,
the
are we
piton
going to
out
be
of
able to
the
get the
wall.
piton out? Yeah.
Yeah, I whack it out of a wall
Yeah, you
several
can.
times.
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah,
I
I'm
won't
just-
even make a check for it. It takes some time. You put it in there pretty well, but you get it out.
You just whack it out. Yeah.
Yep.
You do see that the crack in the crack that was in the floor already is now a little bit wider, but nothing like, not like the whole end is gonna come off or anything like that. It's noticeable that you did something, but I don't think anyone. You don't think anyone will care. So other than that, so assuming you guys you now marked the wall where you have climbed down, assuming that the next section you can find that area again. You still have a couple hours left in the day. You can call it a day there. You can go to the next section and at least start. I don't know how much you guys are planning on doing so.
So this level of this side of the sewer, we're pretty sure we mapped the whole thing.
Yeah, you're pretty sure everything that you can get access to, you have mapped, unless there is something that you don't know about.
Yeah.
A secret entrance or something.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we didn't find any secret entrances.
No.
So
Nobody has seen anything of the ilk or even evidence of one at the moment.
The secret entrances for now remain a secret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're pretty confident that for mapping purposes, this section is easily accessible through this entrance is done.
Cool. And then you've made a mark on your map where that drop is, right? Like which drop we've marked.
I assume he has. So
then we can link them up. Should we? How many more of those drops were there?
In this whole section, you found one on your original, and you found 2 more, during your whole journey through these sewers. So there's been 3 total in this section.
We should have put some sort of marker on.
Well, this one's the closest one to the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I'm just thinking like what if they don't all connect?
Well,
True.
that's what we'll determine by scale.
Okay.
I've drawn a lot
Yeah.
of maps.
It is assumed. I will say it is assumed that if you guys go to the other sections, map it fully out, and you find that something does not connect, that I would let you know. Assuming.
Does it go up?
Does it go up? No. You guys have gone up in this section, but it's seemingly this is the top section.
Oh, okay.
So you guys, like the entrance where you guys entered from, you have gone there have been times you have gone up, you have taken a ladder or 2 up to another section, but it doesn't seem to go up any higher than that. So all the drop-offs you've seen have gone down. So assumingly when you go to the next level, some of the drop-offs you'll see will be going up instead. And there might even be a few more that go down. You're not sure.
Well, it would make sense that if this floor is dumping to the lower sections, then the mid-section would be dumping into the lowest section. So I expect to see a few.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it'll probably take us a little bit to get to that midpoint, and the entrance to that. Do we want to call it a day?
How many more hours do we have left in the day?
It's a little past noon.
Like a work day?
So so depending on how much you want to go, you did take a little bit of time to get going just because you had to go to the offices and come back and everything like that. So I would say, without pushing into exhaustion, you guys could, if you really wanted to, work like 6 more hours ish if you wanted to.
Definitely.
We might as well do it then.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not grueling walking, and it's also you haven't gotten into combat, so it's not like you're getting too tired from this. But there is a limit.
I hold up my nib fingers until my quill disagrees.
Yeah, you're having the hardest time, but luckily, you've sketched things and done things like this a lot, so your fingers are a little used to it. Okay, so leaving this entrance and then knowing where the next entrance is, which is about 3 layers lower than where you guys are at the moment, you kind of take one of the lifts down, and you realize the smell probably does linger a little bit as you notice that the crowd is slowly giving you guys purchase. They're not getting that close. And you guys aren't noticing it because you all smell that way and you've been in the sewer for multiple hours, but noticing everyone's reaction, it's definitely noticeable. And you get a lift all to yourself, though, as you go down.
Did the bard take prestidigitation?
I did.
Oh, you did. Perfect.
Yeah, you can use that, and it definitely does help, for sure. But once it starts happening, it does make you feel better. It does make it better, but you realize you're about to go into a similar situation again anyway. So once you guys realize that and do all that and you go to the next layer, you kind of have to look around a little bit, not too hard, for a similar looking entrance that is covered by kind of this metal doorway. And you kind of go in and find a similar entrance with a ladder that goes down. So you use the same tool to open it up and go downwards into it. This ladder, luckily, is not rusted, so you're all able to easily climb down into a slightly different sewer tunnel than the other entrance. And assumingly that you start mapping it all out and everything like that, and kind of even slightly try to go in the direction of where the drop-off was, why don't, assuming you guys are still looking, artists, make another investigation check with advantage, assuming people are helping you. Oof, 24. You have now gotten so used to how this system works and mapping it that this already is going fast. It's going very quickly. Like you're mapping as you're walking all the time now. Before you had to take a couple stops just to make sure you're connecting things right, but now you are just drawing as you go and are doing really well. You do pretty quickly find the same drop off. With the mark, you see the marking, you see the couple copper coins that you didn't pick up.
I pick up the coins.
You pick up the coins. I knew you would. I just was
Did you
waiting.
clean these?
Can you clean this? Yeah. I'll say you guys. He quickly moves his hand and it's clean.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Awesome. Literally the best spell in D&D. Well, second only to Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion. That's like 7.
They actually downgraded it for 5th edition.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Well, I don't care because it's still the best spell in 5th edition.
But you do that. You find the same drop off, and it does seem to connect, and it does seem to be about the correct distance. You had guessed it. That you had guessed it was. Based on the rope and based on your drawing of the map. But you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. So far, again, you have not really seen, like, any evidence. There's even less of the, like, dust and stuff that has been moved. So there's been less foot traffic here. Maybe the workers don't come here down to this section that often. Or as often, but there seems to be less of it. But other than you still noticing those little cube creatures that do like give your group purchase most of the time, you do notice them like as the light hits them, they kind of appear in your eye for a moment, but then just kind of almost vanish. You don't notice any evidence of any entrances or anything like that. But I will say, drawing this all out, and with that good of investigation check, you're looking at the map, and you're starting to realize that it's not that their tunnels aren't connecting or anything like that. It all makes sense. But you're starting to see that there's almost like a negative space. Almost like there's a possibility, and your mind is just barely touching on this, that there could be things that are in between these tunnels. That you're starting to realize that these are spaced out enough that there's almost could be. You're not confirming that by any means, but now that you're basically mapping this all out, and you're starting to realize that you're getting pretty, like by the end of the day, you're getting pretty close to where that secret entrance is that, or around that layer. And you don't see any of the tunnels getting close to the wall where you guys kind of were.
So there's space above us? Or...
Some things...
Basically, when you're mapping out the tunnels and you
Right.
have this whole, like, Windows screensaver of tunnels going around and connecting everything, you're starting to, like, if Artis is being able to look past that and realize there is enough negative space that there could be another grouping of things built in, like inside, almost. It's hard to describe what I'm trying to say.
No.
So, like, there might be buildings underground here in between.
There could be buildings. There could be another tunnel system. There's enough space for things. It's not like they're all close enough where there's no possibility. That's a good enough investigation check to realize that it is a possibility.
When I've done the final floor, I want to go back over this, everyone. There are some things that look off, and he did say to us that some areas are only accessible from one floor and not another. But something in this map's off. So
Okay.
we need to come back and have a look at this once we've got this side fully mapped, because it could be right, but there's something that doesn't seem right to it.
But luckily, at the speed you're doing it, even doing the rest of the day, you get a pretty good amount through it. You could definitely tackle the rest of this layer the next day, pretty early. You're basically like more than 2/3 of the way done with how fast you're able to do it. But once you get to that point where you're kind of looping back towards the entrance again, you have started to realize that you're able to keep time pretty well, and it is getting to be like pretty late.
Did we find any more drops?
So you found the one that dropped to where your layer is right now. That's going up.
But
from
that's a
there.
rise at this.
No, I know it is a rise. You did find 2 more drops. That are in different areas that don't seem to connect to anything like that. And then
I dropped the X coin down one, and I dropped the other coin.
Okay. So you drop markers, I will say, at those 2. But you do find one place that is just the tunnel ends, and you realize it is both a rise and a drop. So one of the drops above you goes what looks like all the way down.
Okay.
I will say that is the one other drop that you notice. It seems to be one continuous one.
So this one, estimating like 200 total, 200 feet total-ish?
About is your best guess. From the very top down below, yeah, about 200, 250.
How many ascensions have we found? We found the original one that we
You found the original ascension. You've now found this one. There should be one more to find, but you haven't gone over to that section yet. So far with the map, everything is matched. There has been no inconsistencies at the moment. Other than that strange thought that you had, Artis, everything looks normal with what this would be. It does seem a little bit like you don't work in infrastructure, but you can tell some of the newer tunnels and some of the older tunnels, and some of it does look a little bit like put together at the last minute, like the city kept expanding and they just kept having to add more tunnels and stuff like that. You do notice that a little bit, so it's not as well put together as it could be, but it's all perfectly functional, it looks like. But again, you're not well versed in that stuff. It's just something you slightly notice, again, with a really good investigation check. But heading back through to the entrance, so far, nothing crazy's gone on in there. You haven't found any more. I'm assuming you guys have been looking for that. You haven't found any more dangerous creatures or anything odd yet. So we'll see what the next day kind of goes up. But you head back to the tavern after assuming we prestidigitation clean up as much as possible. Still don't feel entirely clean, but you definitely feel a lot better. So upon kind of arriving to the tavern, eating as much as you would like, does anybody want to do anything else? I don't know if you want to go get that material.
Bathe.
My clothes. Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Bathe and get my clothes aired out. I guess I'm not really worried about them getting clean. I'm just going back in there tomorrow. But
yeah, I'll say prestidigitation helped with that for sure. But the bathing finishes the rest of the clean job.
Basically, when you bathe, give me your dirty clothes, and you'll see me roll them up into a tight little bundle, because the spell these days only has a small area of effect. Little bit of glowy happening there, and then I just shake your clothes out and they're nice and clean.
Yeah, it is also assumed that you could, even if it has a short radius, you can cast it in one area and cast it on the other and be fine. But yeah, you can do it that way either. And yeah, they come out much cleaner than they did before, and everyone who wants to do that can certainly do that. I don't know if artists you want to worry about getting that material for that spell or not, or if you want to wait.
We can grab it for the morning, I think.
You can grab it
he
in the
still
morning.
needs to memorize the spell anyway. So
Okay.
get it in the morning and then he can cast it in the sewer.
Yeah, you could certainly
Well,
do that.
here's the deal. I don't want to go into the sewer with that spell prepared. Does that make sense? Like, because that's going to be a very useless spell for me. And I don't want to cast a second level spell before we start doing stuff. That's something that I'd want to do, like, at night on a day off.
Up to you guys. I mean, there's no set schedule. You guys can be like, hey, I want to do this. Let's take the day off tomorrow and do that. Like, there's no set schedule.
Well,
So
my hand would appreciate that. To be honest, my fingers are quite cramped after nearly 10 hours of mapping.
We can take a day off tomorrow. Well, actually. That's me.
Sorry?
It's
I
not
love
up
a
to me.
rest. I vote in favor of a day off, a little beauty treatment.
Oh
Well,
yes.
we can give our noses a rest as well.
Yeah,
Soak in a long bath, spa treatment.
yeah, you guys can certainly do that.
Wait, are we gonna have a hot springs episode?
Let's
Get the nosebleeds ready. We gotta go full anime on this. Yeah, you could look for hot springs. You can look for stuff like that. I mean, you guys can have a day off. Nothing is stopping you.
We've earned it.
I looked over right at the camera view when you did that. Because I'm not looking directly at all times, so I don't see everything. But I was like, alright. Wait a second. Okay. Yeah, if you guys want to plan on doing that tomorrow, you can.
Okay, then I'll prepare.
Then you guys can get that spell done in the lantern and do other things if you want to. Any other housekeeping things if you want to do it. I guess plan for it at the moment. But assuming you guys bathe and decide to rest the night, the long rest happens. You can change over your spells and stuff like that. And anything else?
No, you don't need to. Okay.
Cats always like cameras.
I'm looking for that
Oh.
ruby dust, and I'll be looking for some chalk as well.
You got the beast.
Yeah, I just found that I can actually roll it myself. There's
Yeah.
an actual bit for me to roll it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
I will note that down.
So you have that in your brain for the day at the moment. But so just to make this ease of use, because it won't take you that long to really do, looking around for spell components is not that difficult. You just have to go basically a layer up, and there's a couple different shops that have those kinds of things, and finding ruby not too difficult, luckily. Assuming Artis is paying for it, Artis, you can mark off 50 gold, and you can have the material for that.
Any
What do you
coppers for some
need?
chalk?
What? Apologies?
How many coppers for some chalk?
Chalk? Let me look. I don't think it's that much, so... But I will find out by just checking this.
It's gonna bug me if I don't know what fucking cantrip that is.
Okay, it's not on this list. So I will just say... You can get 10 pieces for 2 copper. That seems alright.
And how do I add a line to my inventory?
I will add it in a second.
Oh,
Oh, you know what? I
take
found
this
it.
flame underwater.
Actually, 1 piece is 1 copper. So
Oh.
you can get how much ever you want.
I'll get 2 pieces.
Alright. Then I will put that in your sheet right now.
And I have deducted 2 copper.
Nice. Alright, you got it in your inventory now.
I want to either find like a perfumery or smelling shop or something to find an extremely floral.
So there are multiple places.
I think that I have a censure. You could put some incense.
Funny enough, you do think about it, and you do remember that the potion shop does have a few oils and smell oils and stuff like that you could go to, but you can also look around to see if there's a more perfumery shop.
Yeah, specifically a perfumery shop, not
Okay.
necessarily potions.
Yeah. Certainly. So just make a flat investigation check just to see how long it takes for you to find. Yeah, 14. Looking around, it's not too hard to find. Similarly in the same areas where you can get the spell components and everything where Artis has gone, there is one that you find pretty easily. It's a decently small shop, but they have a huge variety of these small vial perfume bottles that they sell of varying prices, kind of depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for the more florally scents, they are a hair more expensive, but they're definitely not the most expensive.
Right.
So I would say, oh, they actually have it.
Nice.
Okay, it's on here for this amount. So I would say a perfume bottle that would last you a while would probably be about 7 gold pieces, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, I would buy. Oh, let's buy 2.
Okay. So I will add that, and you can just mark off 14 gold pieces. Does anybody want to do anything else with your shopping? Go relax, do anything specific while in town, while not obliged to go in the sewer?
I'd like to go shopping. I'd like to see what kind of shops are around, kind of just
go with that look.
browse, peruse,
Okay.
see if there's any fancy things I can buy.
All right. You can. Walrus, did you say you were going with him?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hefla.
Okay, so I will say either both of you can make investigation checks or one of you can make it with it.
What's your investigation looking like, buddy? Old
Fucking 0.
Okay, well I have +1, so we wanna with our powers combined.
With our powers combined, we can be mediocre.
Yep, right. So I'm rolling with advantage then.
Yeah.
Okay, I have forgotten how to do that. Just give me a sec.
The little ADV in the left.
Ah,
corner.
yes. Yep, I remember now. Yep. Investigation.
Oh, I didn't even see. Hold up. Oh, natural 20. So
We're
that's
not mediocre.
You are not.
We find the
mediocre.
best shops.
You do find the best shops. So, upon kind of looking around, give me 1 second. I'm making sure I have my stuff pulled up. All right. So looking around, you kind of are start looking around at the different shops, and you think, oh, I probably should go look around where the potion shop was, because there were a few things there, and then also going a little higher up, there may be a few things around the potion shop. There's not too much, but going up a couple levels to around where everyone else is at the moment, you find a decently large building that you don't remember seeing very much. And you kind of look along the side of it, and you see a sign on the side, and it just says Thunga and Nissel's Oddities.
I love it already.
I both gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
So you burst into the shop.
Kick open the door.
You look in, and you see what looks like a shop that's lined with different wall. The walls are nicely wooden. The door that you came in is a wood door. But it seems like the shelves are the few shelves that are here are pretty tall. And you see like a couple even little like step stools that are around that even look like they've been moved around a few times. But the lighting is kind of a little bit more dim than you expect. There's not very many windows, and the few candles that are in here are just kind of halfway down their wick and dim. And you kind of look and you see what looks like a dwarven woman with her hair kind of done up in a few different ponytails along her back. She kind of turns and kind of looks towards the group and the two of you, and just like, couple customers. And she kind of walks around the counter that she's got, and she goes, well, what do you two want?
I don't know. What do we want?
What do we want? Tell us. What's hot around here?
Two people not knowing what they need. But what would they need? Let's look around.
Let's.
You big guy. You look like you like to fight.
Yeah.
I do have a couple weapons, not very many. Couple that I picked up along the way, and she kind of walks over to a small shelf, which looks like it has a morning star, a sling, and what looks like a hand axe that's on a slightly higher shelf. And she just goes, and these are all enchanted. I don't know by who, but they're all just a little bit better than they normally are. And she points to the hand axe, and she's like, that one's actually a lot better. She kind of looks over, and she's like, oh, and there's armor right there. You don't really look like you use much.
No, I don't.
So you probably don't want that.
No, thank you.
For the what would you want? I don't know what you would want.
I mean, have you got any studded leather armor or anything fancy?
Leather? I don't have leather armor at the moment. Fancy. You know what? You could have, and she pulls out, or she walks over to another shelf, and you see what looks like on like a pillow, this kind of like golden ring that is about 6 inches in diameter. So basically like what looks like a small crown. And she goes, now this what people call as a circlet of blasting, and it blasts people. You said you want fancy.
Okay, that is fancy. A circlet of blasting. I'm intrigued. Can you tell me more about the blasting?
Well, there's this spell that some people know. I don't know spells, but there's some spells, and it's like it shoots out like rays of fire. I think called fire ray. That's what it's called. This you get the ability to do that, even if you're me and I don't know how to do that stuff. You just you think about it and it happens, and you just blast.
How much? How much for this magic circlet?
This would come to be about 300 gold pieces.
Okay.
It's a fancy item.
It is a fancy item.
It's a fancy item that also shoots fire.
I'm not knocking the grind. I'm not knocking it. That's okay.
It shoots fire. Big deal.
I believe you. Sure. I'll take the nice looking circlet.
Well. Big spender. I like big spenders.
Gotta make a good impression.
Sure. I love it. And she kind of grabs like the pillow and kind of sets it off to the side and kind of rocks it over to the counter real quick, and she kind of walks back over by Walrus, and she goes, you done looking at these yet? Have you decided?
I don't know what they do. What does this do? I'm gonna pick up the Morning Star. I think that's what you said it was, right?
Yes. So you pick up the Morning Star and you kind of swing it around. You feel that it's a little bit lighter, and it looks like it probably hits a little bit harder. She goes, "It's just a basic enchantment. It makes it just a bit better."
Well, what about the hand axe?
The hand axe, that one's an even better enchantment. It makes it even better. Like twice as better.
I like twice better is good. I don't know.
But it is a little bit more expensive.
I don't know how much everything is. How much is the hand axe?
The hand axe is... That one's a little bit expensive. It's about 1,000 gold pieces.
I don't have that. I don't have
Well,
that. No, it's okay.
Just telling
I'm
you
gonna
that's
very,
what it is.
very carefully put it back on the shelf.
Well, it's magic. It could take a hit or two, but I like that you're careful. The Morning Star, it's about 250.
That's fine. I don't need anything. I'll go over here. I'm just gonna go stand behind Efla, looking a little bit sad.
No.
I don't have a lot of money.
Well,
I no longer have a lot of money.
how unfortunate. Well, hopefully, if you guys like anything, you decide to come back. And I'm getting new stuff all the time. You know, people like to come give me their things a lot of the time.
I'm gonna quickly kind of just like whisper to her and be like, "You don't happen to have any like errands that you need running? Anything particularly dangerous that could perhaps sway some purchases in the future?"
Do I need anything?
We're very capable.
Oh.
We are the capable crew.
That's not our name.
You two look pretty capable. I don't need anything at the moment, but if someone is looking for something in particular that I think you could find, I'll let you know. I'll look for the capable crew.
We'll be back at some point soon.
Still
Good
not our
Brand,
name.
wherever he is, wherever the
palming
princess
already.
is, where he is, sneeze.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we appreciate the consideration. And I kind of gently put the circlet on my head and just kind of giggle to myself a little bit and slowly walk away.
So it's in your
ridiculous.
sheet. It's in your sheet. I'll add it to your actions later. It
Thank you.
can be used once a day. You cast Scorching Ray, and all the attacks are +5 to hit.
Ooh.
Nice. I definitely, after I bought the perfume for myself, would be going around to try and find a perfume that would work with Good Brand and his body scent. Just like
His body
spritzing on him.
scent.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get the correct scent on your body.
Like the perfect amount of musk, but not like too much to make it like bad. Like just enough. Like to make it like a manly scent. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
get
know, manly and a little bit old, maybe like some Old Spice, you know, that sort of thing.
Ancient spice.
Yeah, ancient spice.
Ancient Spice. I got a name of perfume, Ancient Spice now.
But
That has
really,
to
I'm
be a
just
thing.
spraying him with a lot of perfume
Yeah,
and stuff because I just want to kind of annoy him.
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, fairly quickly, once you realize it annoys him, you decide to ask for samples of almost everything in the shop for Good Brand. And finally, after maybe the 110th, you find one that you think would generally be his good scent. And honestly, at this point, if you decide to get that one vial for him, you bought 2, you spent a lot of time in the shop, she'll give it to you for free.
Great, I am.
All right.
I want her to wrap it up though, nice, and then I'm gonna give it to him as a present, even though he knows exactly what it is.
Yep. You see her get it, purchase it, it gets wrapped up, and then she picks it up and hands it directly to you and asks you to open it.
This is me. This is for me.
It is for you.
It's for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He opens it up. And he knows what it is, but he still acts surprised. But it's awful. Like, his deception is just terrible.
As expected.
And he puts it on his belt pouch. Use that later.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
What does it smell like?
Actually, strangely enough, you actually do like the smell a little bit. It smells a little bit musty, but like the undertone is actually like the beach smell. And it does remind you of the times when you were along there. So she did actually pick a fairly good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be
choice for you.
malicious.
No,
just...
no, the malicious part was constantly testing things on you. The actual thing is
kind of trying to be nice.
yes. So you guys do that as they find this shop and buy the 1 crown. You get your materials. Let's say that takes a few hours for each of you. So, anything you want to do the rest of the day, and you can say no. You can be like, nah, we're good. I just want to be sure.
I walk around with a mild headache from all the perfume.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Try to cast lesser restoration on myself.
Are there any nice
Sure.
bars, kind of like gathering spots apart from our obvious usual place? Is there anywhere else to kind of go see some townsfolk? Where do all the cool kids hang?
Where do all the cool kids hang? I'll say with the natural 20 investigation check you already had, you can find one. Give me 1 second.
The entire time he's searching, I'm gonna make fun of him for wearing a crown.
Yeah. I mean,
And every time he does, I'm gonna like point at him like I'm about to cast Scorching Ray.
Do it.
roll an Arcana check, Ethla. Really hope you roll what I think you're gonna roll. I really. Oh, I also lost connection to everyone for half a second.
You got cheated, bud.
Hold up.
I hope so.
Wait,
Either
did
that
not
or it
roll?
actually fires
no,
because
wait,
he doesn't know.
give it a second. For some reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like-
all right.
For some reason, my computer wanted to bug out and I lost internet, I think. But we'll find out when I get everyone to reconnect. Everyone.
Kind of hoping he
Like-
fails it and I get shot in the face. Sorry, I don't know how this works.
I lose connection with that makes no sense. You know what? To keep it moving, I will just roll a d20 and look at your thing. Ooh, I rolled a bad number. Not
It's a +1.
Oh no.
not good. I lost. Yep, everyone disconnected for some reason.
No,
That's
it-
weird.
It's
I'm
probably
still
my
connected.
end too.
still connected on my end.
Well,
Yeah,
you're about to get
Well, it's-
booted. You're about to
Yeah.
get booted. I'll tell you that much.
Still roll dice.
Yeah, I just rolled a random dice and
Bam.
nothing happened.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you'll
what
see.
happened when I
Yeah,
rolled
nothing
my,
happened.
We'll figure it out in a second.
Alright.
Yeah, +1. So that's a 3 total that I rolled for you. The 5th time you make that joke, you suddenly see from the little like sun marking at the top of the crown, these blasts like come towards him. And Walrus, you don't know what you did to make him angry, but at one point, I'm just gonna roll
Yeah.
hits because this would be funny. Not gonna do much, hopefully. Yeah, I don't think that hits you. That one will though. I'm pretty sure. I know what your AC is. Yep, only one of them hits.
It's
So-
not great, but it's not bad.
Well, trust me, I didn't roll great. I rolled a 13, a 9, and a 19. So
Yeah, not too definitely.
so you only take 8 fire damage, which, yeah, you fucking get hit. Oh, I also realized, yeah, everyone but Good Brand
I'm still connected.
disconnected. Yeah, I don't know why everyone else did, including myself. Like my other connection, that is running the stream. is like now not connected.
That is because
I don't know what happened.
I have the favor of the gods.
Of course.
Clearly.
We'll see.
I mean, yeah, if I get hurt by that crown, I'm just gonna punch him in the face.
All right.
They're starting to brawl in the middle of the
Just
street.
actually
right now.
trying to hurt him because
a
he hurt me.
magical
You rolled a
brawl.
natural one.
Oh, that's sad.
The blinding light. You go to cover your face, and as you do, you instinctively go out for the punch, but you don't realize that you stepped one step back and you just whiff, and then you are
upsetting.
blinking the light away.
We both just kind of like stand there awkwardly looking at each other. He just tried to hit me. I just shot him with a scorching ray. We're just kind of lock eyes.
I'm gonna very slowly reach out and take the circlet off his head.
Okay.
In an apologetic way, I'll chuck a level 1 healing word, just a D4 plus 4.
We gotta put this. We gotta put it away.
Oh, exactly the amount.
And we're
I
not
rolled a
gonna
4.
talk about what just happened.
Wait,
Is anyone able to reconnect to the game?
I
you're
haven't
using
been
it.
kicked yet.
Oh, I'm trying. Well, you really are, but Fantasy Grounds thinks
I'll
you're
just-
not.
Okay, there we go. Now I have been. It just took a second.
Yeah, it's just sitting on connecting for me.
Yeah, I'm double checking that it's still set. Hold
Aiden,
up.
if you were trying to talk, you're muted. Yeah, I heard you. I saw your mouth say "damn it," but I didn't hear your
Damn
words.
it.
Something's happening.
I'm working on fixing it. In the meantime, that whole interaction happens. Do you actually let him take the crown off your head though, or the circlet off, or not?
There we go.
He mimed something.
Yeah, your mic is still not working, man.
I brushed the physical mute button. Okay, so I'm gonna apologetically heal for full health, but when he takes off my head, I'm gonna like hold on to it to try and stop him from doing that. But I feel like his strength probably completely outclasses mine, and he just takes it anyway.
Well,
I don't
my
think
plan is to
I
take
can
it.
stop it.
My plan is to take it and then just put it in your hand so it's not on your head.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of sheepishly hold it in front of me and kind of.
Yeah. His thinking is it has to be on your head for it to work.
I'll put this on later. Gonna sleep with this.
Technically, it technically does.
Oh,
Or he has to be having it at least.
Is it an attuned?
Yeah,
Can I, like, wear it as an
it's not
armband?
attunement. That's why he could use it immediately. That's why I let him use it immediately on accident. It's not an attunement thing. It's just while wearing the circlet, you can use an action to cast
Oh,
Scorching
so he
Ray.
has to be wearing it. Okay.
Yeah, so he does have
Just
to be
like
wearing
slide it up my arm.
I would
Wear it
just
on
like
my
once a day?
shoulder.
I would. Yes, it's once a
On your
dawn, so it
thigh.
doesn't work now. All right, I'm gonna
It's a good freaking item.
reconfigure Fantasy Grounds. In the meantime,
Oh
either
no,
way.
you're fine, dude. I'm still in.
well, you're not in anymore.
You know I am.
Well,
Can I reconnect?
I'm not, so I highly doubt it.
Yeah, well, it won't let me reconnect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm,
Which
try-
I
I'm,
guess
I'm
makes sense.
trying, but in
That's
the
fine.
meantime, so you guys are doing that while you're looking for a bar. What you do find is what I'm about to tell you, but I got sidetracked. So you do find what looks like a really interesting establishment for what you would call the where the cool kids are. You find a tavern actually pretty close to where you guys are at the moment. You almost actually walk into it. A place called the Emerald Hammer. The sign actually has like kind of green accoutrement kind of set up with like a large kind of hammer carved into the top of the doorway. Kind of walking in, it actually is one of the only buildings that it looks like it's made of some sort of like brick material, like a darkened red brick that's kind of built up and everything like that. And the rest of it seems to be made of the inside, the pillars and everything with wood. kind of looking around, you notice that there is a couple people sitting around, and most of them actually seem to be, like, I guess you would say more of the adventuring type. They seem to have more weapons, different things, accoutrements and things like that. And the person at the bar looks to be one of the only workers here at the moment. It seems to be a young, looks like elven woman.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
talk to people. Or...
Yeah. I'll go up and I'll order the cheapest drink they have.
Sure.
Water.
Is the water free in this establishment?
You see the young woman kind of look over at you and she's like, sure, if you need water, I can get you some.
I'd appreciate it.
All right, well, let me get that for
Trying
you.
to go easy on the money today.
He doesn't have any money because he bought
Yeah,
a stupid hat.
Go ahead and try to reconnect.
Okay. The same one or the old one?
The same one.
Okay.
Well, it will never use the old one again. It doesn't let me
okay.
type it in. It gives me something randomly.
I was about to ask what happened with that.
We were having trouble earlier, and apparently we're having trouble now. So don't know, don't care. We'll hope it works now. If not, figure it out for next time. And I can always just roll if absolutely needed. But finding something cheap, if you do want to buy something cheap other than water, you can. It's not that expensive. But she kind of walks over with water and kind of is like, so, what are you two in town for?
We're here to,
I saw that.
make a name for ourselves. A good name for ourselves. We're kind of going about. We're helping around. We're rather new in town, so we're just looking around.
You and practically everyone else sitting here. But don't let that get you down.
No, I'm never down. I'm always happy until I spend 300 pounds on a hat, or 300 gold in a hat. But
well, hope it was a good hat.
I mean, it works.
No.
We found that out.
You may have worked by accident.
By the way, your new nickname is Sparky Sparky Boom Boom.
Explosion Man.
Would you happen to know of any events going on in the city here, or any shenanigans that need sorting?
Shenanigans.
We are the shenanigan sorters.
No, we're not.
He kind of gives you a look. All right.
Good brand. Somewhere far away. Sneezes.
Always.
Every time.
She kind of looks at you and she's like, not really at the moment. Most things that usually happen get taken care of pretty quickly, either by the town guard or folks like you who ask these things.
Here I was thinking I was being unique.
Well, there's not very many, but there are still a good amount of people looking for glory and money and whatever else that comes to them. People have their own reasons. I'm assuming you have yours.
Just trying to do what's right.
I can see that's your reason. And what's and she looks over at Walrus and goes, well, what's your reason then?
I got hired by a dude to protect a princess, and now I've been drug along, and I'm gonna gain cheese-based powers in the sewers.
And I'm just gonna kind of look at her and go, food.
Also food. Also food is a purpose.
Did he get knocked in the head a few too many times?
That's just him.
It's happened a few times, yeah.
Got it. Well,
One time
no matter
with
your
the
reason,
goblin.
people like to come here and discuss those kinds of things. So maybe someone around here might have something to help you, or maybe not. I don't know. People don't usually tell me too much, because then, again, like you guys, everyone asks me and wants to know what's available. They don't usually talk to me too much.
Understandable.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, they talk to me. They don't tell me like rumors or job potentials or things like that.
Okay, that fair. Well, we appreciate the help. Thanks for the water. It's very refreshing.
Thank you.
Just let us know. You know, if you hear anything, I'm sure you have plenty of people who want to know all this, but keep us in mind.
I will try to.
And I'm gonna kind of look around the joint and just kind of see if there's anyone who stands out. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people just kind of like drinking, chatting, socializing, but I want to just keep an eye out to see if there's anyone who looks particularly out of place or...
I mean, honestly, the strange thing is they all look out of place, so it kind of feels like it's more like they're in place, because if you saw any one of these in like a normal tavern, you might be like, wow, that's a little out of place. But since they're all here, it's almost like this is where they congregate. You see what looks like a female dwarf with red hair. It looks like she's wearing leathers and different other, looks like things that she's homemade. She's kind of looks like she's got a staff by her side at the moment. You see a what looks like a tiefling of pretty much pure black skin, but the hair that he has is like a golden color, that kind of goes down. He seems to have chainmail and a sword at his side. You see a older human male, brown hair that's starting to gray, it looks like. He seems to have a glaive very similar to your friend, but he's wearing chainmail as well. You see another dwarf, but this one's male. He's on a different side of the bar. Has thin white hair. Seems to have a quarterstaff and a dagger. He looks like he's also reading a book at the moment. And then a halfling woman, but surprisingly tall for a halfling. She seems to be wearing studded leather and has a short sword and a bow. That's all you see at the moment, though. So they all seem to be strange and odd, but, you know, maybe this is the sort of place for those kinds of people.
Yeah. Well, no one really stands out to me as someone I want to particularly approach and kind of strike up conversation with. So I think I'm gonna finish my water, you know, ask Walrus, hey, did you want anything just while we're here, or you
No,
good?
I'm good. I'm fine.
Should we head back, see the
I
others?
think it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, alright. And with that, we'll kind of
Walrus
just
has
take
been
our
replaced
leave.
by somebody.
Hmm?
Insight check.
Walrus has been replaced, yeah.
Oh.
The doppelganger hasn't come in yet. Shush. Okay. So heading back to the tavern, assuming, does anybody else want to do any more shopping or anything else? Doesn't seem like it.
I sort of, once I got back to the room, I spent the afternoon just fine-tuning the maps, tidying things up.
All right. Yeah, you fix a couple of the little parts that have kind of a different measurement than you were expecting. like you drew a shorter line when it was supposed to be much longer. So you do fix a couple little things, but mostly it's fairly accurate, as best as you can get, with your skills, as you're not an expert on it, but you're still very good. But you kind of do that as the rest of the group kind of arrives one at a time, or in their pairs, I guess. With the Goodbrand and Olive arriving first, and then the other two arriving a short time later, kind of right before dinner. But yeah.
You smell me before you see me.
Yes, you definitely do. He smells like an.
What is that manly
That's the
smell?
status quo. We could always smell him before we saw him.
It's
Oh.
it's funny.
No,
it
Brandon's a
smells
very
like
clean dude.
It smells like about 17 smells stacked on top of each other at first. But then after you actually get close enough to him and sit, it does smell like the one smell, the like musky kind of smell. Not extremely strong by any means, but like it's noticeable.
Why?
Don't address
Why?
it whatsoever. Just
Don't mention it. Shh. Shh. That's how you know it's a doppelganger if he's not smelling anymore.
But why does Goodbrand? Why do you smell like so many people and then not people?
It was we were testing, so we don't have to smell so bad in the sewers.
It didn't work. You smell bad. Just different.
My princess commanded it.
Uh,
Okay. I'm gonna sit a little further away from Goodbrand.
just
Okay. Sit a little further away. To the point where there's enough smells in the tavern that you basically don't smell it other than every once in a while.
That'd be nice.
But food gets brought out and that smell kind of overtakes for the rest of the evening at the moment, as you guys are kind of eating and doing the stuff like that. I'm assuming you might want to cast the flame into the lantern at this point. Before the end of the night.
Please, Mr. Goodbrand.
Yes, I will go ahead and cast that.
Please, Mr. Goodbrand, can I have some flame? Please.
Oh no! You know what? I used all my second level. No.
I used it all casting Get Away From Me perfume.
Oh. That mustn't have
Spell
saved
is cast.
my feet. Let me
Alright.
update it again.
It's an instantaneous thing, so I
Yeah.
literally just stick the ruby in the lantern and say a quick prayer. Actually, do I? Yeah, and then say a quick prayer, and
Mhm.
your lantern lights up forever.
Yeah, so the
Close the
ruby kind
shutters
of
on it.
the ruby kind of turns into dust, and then this kind of bright reddish orangish flame kind of appears inside the hooded lantern. Kind of it flicks back and forth, and you can slightly tell it's a little bit more translucent than it should be, but you can tell, like, even by touching it, it doesn't seem to use heat or anything like that. And you kind of cover you test it out just to see, and you kind of cover the hooded lantern completely with the hood and open it back up. It doesn't seem to have quenched the fire or anything like that, and it does seem to block all of the light. And you now realize that you basically just have a hooded lantern that's on all the time, unless someone dispels it at some point.
And never runs out of oil.
Yep, never runs out of oil either. Doesn't even use oil.
Which means I can use oil for other things.
Yep.
Yay.
Yep.
How environmentally friendly of us.
You're gonna get the oil industry out of business for sure.
The magic big oil doesn't want you to know about.
Here's my question: is that something that I can just dispel at any time?
Yeah, assuming you have the access to it. Like, if you can just I mean, dispel magic is
I'm
about
not
30
going
feet.
to. I'm just
So you
curious.
could, yeah.
Oh no, I'm not talking about dispel magic. I'm just like, I guess I should look at the spell, shouldn't I?
No, I would say, I guess you could you wanted to, but I would say
I have no reason to.
yeah.
It's a permanent
It's
effect.
not like you're it's
probably
not
required to spell.
I would say if you are nearby it, like if you could touch it, I would say you could because it's your own magic. Just to
It just says until dispelled.
yeah, the duration. But I would just say because it's your own
Yeah.
magic, you could if you really wanted to, you would just have to be able to touch it. But if he keeps a hold of it the whole time, no, you couldn't.
Okay.
Just
You
saying.
remember that, artist. You remember.
I gave you fire,
Always
and I can take it away if I need to.
Back out of you.
But yes, also dispel magic would do. At a distance.
From a distance, the world.
Yep.
And they roll a 1 when you're in battle and accidentally sneak attack you instead of the enemy.
Oh no! If only I had fire to see. Either way, you get all that done during dinner and everything like that, and realize, yeah, how useful it probably will be, which is good. Unless anyone wants to do anything the rest of the night, I will go ahead and just say that you guys take a long rest. Pretty relaxing day of just walking around shopping, doing the things you wanted to do. Which kind of does help alleviate just some of the soreness from constantly walking in the sewer. Same one. Just remember to mark off your inspiration
Yeah.
every time you do that, because you now have it, but it uses your inspiration to do it.
I know.
What was I going to say? So the next day comes, assumingly, unless you guys have changed your mind, you guys are going to go to finish the second section and go down to the third section of the sewer.
That's my understanding, yeah.
Okay. So, kind of doing that. So heading into the second section of the sewer, you start to go to the other areas that you haven't gone to before. It did the same fucking thing again. What the hell?
Yeah, host connection lost. I just got host connection. Maybe it's a fancy grounds.
No,
or
it's
something.
me. No, it's me. My computer lost my internet for some reason.
But the stream's fine.
No,
Yeah, that's weird that we can still see you.
Here's the
talk
problem.
to
Here's the thing. I have a 2-computer setup now.
you.
The Zoom and the streaming is on one computer that is still connected for some reason. The one that's running my fantasy grounds right now is the one that is losing internet. Don't know why.
I mean, very fancy 2-computer setup.
It's
Respect
brand
for
new
that.
and it does not seem to want to function. So
Well,
Timing out.
okay, so we just took a long rest, and I don't know how everyone else is feeling. I want to keep going, but do we have too many technical issues to maybe just reconvene next week?
no, unless I lose internet on this computer and the stream cuts out, I think we should be fine for right now. I just connected on a different thing, so
Okay.
we'll see.
I'm happy to keep going, of course.
Yeah, I think we'll be finished pretty quickly anyway. So,
Just making sure.
no, you're good. You're good. So kind of starting to map out the sewers, as well. Yeah, you can reconnect. It looks like. Starting to map out the sewers, you kind of go and you're kind of looking, and you do find the last rise point. So it does seem to all connect. There doesn't seem to be anything that doesn't connect at the moment. But you do find one additional drop off, and I will say you don't even really need to roll an investigation check. You do notice that down the drop off, and it looks like it goes down a tunnel, you see a very, very light blue glow. It's the only light you've really seen in the tunnels at all, which is why it's immediately noticeable. You can't tell what it's coming from, but you can tell it's coming from the tunnels all the way down.
So it's blue, it's not natural light.
It doesn't look natural.
We break out the old pitons.
I was going to shutter the lantern a bit more. How bright is this light?
It's equivalent to
Um,
torchlight, so it's 30 feet bright and 30 feet dim, so it doesn't
If I
quite...
close up the lantern, how bright is
Oh,
the
yeah,
light?
sorry.
My light is still on.
Oh.
So if you're
I mean, it's
I'm
bright
noticing what
enough-
you're doing. I turn it off. How about
Yeah,
that?
it's bright enough to notice. The problem is you don't know how far it is into that tunnel because you can't actually see what it is. So it could be something that's very bright and it's just very far into the tunnel and just getting to you guys, or it could be something really dim and just beyond it. So unfortunately, at your angle, it's hard to really tell. It'd be something you'd have to be down there to more be able to tell at the moment.
And this is at a drop-off point.
Yeah, this is at a drop-off
So that's
point that's on the
below
second
us.
floor. So you could go down to the third level through the entrance and find this again, assumingly that it drops down to that.
Assuming that it meets up.
Yes, which so far everything
Yes.
has. So
Didn't the
Uh,
first one not? On the first section, I know that 2 of the drop-offs met. One
We
found
this is you right before you found this drop-off, you found the last one.
Okay,
That's what I was saying. So today you found the last one, and then about an hour after you found this one, this is another drop off that goes from the second layer to the third, and this is where you saw the light down a tunnel down that one.
so it
It's
I-
the
looks
same
like
distance
it's in
down.
the third section.
It's hard to with the light. Yeah, it's about 120 feet down. So you could again climb down if you wanted to.
I like the idea of climbing down. If we leave to go out the tunnel, go back in the entrance and try and find this, the light may have gone. I feel like this is a matter of we need to see what this is now so we don't lose it.
Okay, well,
I'll happily go down. I'll go down. I have my cool little
I'll
hat.
go with him.
okay, well, hand me the pittance. Thank you. I take it back and I promptly start smashing it into the wall.
I'll not even have you roll. I'll say it takes you a little bit though. But after a good couple minutes of hammering it in, you do seem to get a firm enough grip to have it set.
Sailor Goodbrand, do you want to do your naughty magic?
Yes. It's funny because of what I said about my interest in ropes earlier, and you called it naughty magic.
Yep. Just gonna
I just can't. I just
Cruise.
can't with y'all.
cruise past that. Cruise
I had
past
to
that.
hold that one for a while for the next opportunity.
I'm so proud of you. I'm like a proud papa right now.
Dun-dun-ch. I need to have a drum. I need to have a drum beat set up for times like this. Yeah, I gotta have it set up at one point. Okay, you do tie the entire thing onto the rope as you did before. I will say you tie one more rope to make sure you have enough room. You tie the 3 ropes you have because it is a slightly taller, as you're starting to notice. Not too much, about 120 to 25 foot. So you make sure you have all the ropes to give you more than enough. But you tie it all together and you have basically a rappelling rope down all the way to the bottom.
Are we all going down, or is this just a one-person thing?
I can go down myself.
I'll go down with Efla.
I would say to be safe, unless someone is like at the bottom, you guys should be going down one at a time.
Well, yes, but I meant
How is
probably-
everyone going?
There's a
down or not?
light down there, and I'm worried that if we just send one person, that might not be the safest option.
We'll
I'm
be ready to follow him if we need to.
yes, and I'll shout up if there's any issues.
We can
I can see in the dark. I can.
Last
I'm
time
a
it took
fast
a long
one.
time to get you back up. That's all I'm saying.
This time, both of you can heave him.
Good point.
We've got enough excess rope, so we've got the play for it.
So Efla's going down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. I won't. I will say. Go ahead and roll athletics anyway. Let's see.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can all see what a mighty athlete you are.
It's funny. I saw a 2. I saw a 4 on my end, and then it turned into a 2. It's not a natural 1. It just
Fall 120 feet.
you don't fall, but you lose your grip multiple times and kind of get immediately scared and grip really tight, and then it takes you a little bit of muster to kind of get back going again, until right at the end you kind of slide down, landing on your butt and getting a little bit of rope burn again. And you're like,
I should really start wearing gloves.
yeah, you should. You don't take any damage, but it took you longer than you expected, and it was a little tougher to get down than you wanted. But now
I take pride damage.
Now you can kind of see at the bottom, though, there is what look like multiple tunnels. There are 2 tunnels that kind of go, if you're looking at the wall with the falls that you just climbed down. There's kind of one tunnel going from your left and to your right that seemingly go to other parts of the sewer. And then behind you is with the tunnel that has the blue light, which you can kind of see does seem to curve a little bit. And you can't see the source at the moment, but you see it getting slowly brighter as the curve goes.
Okay.
It doesn't look extremely bright, so your guess is that it might be just a little bit down the tunnel.
You say it's like 120 feet up to the guys above.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to like shout to kind of get a message up there. If I'm gonna kind of like wave down to be like, without saying anything. I don't know if they can see me at that range in the kind of darkness.
Luckily, the blue light is just giving you enough that they could, but just barely. I will say, Goodbrand would definitely be the one who notices the most.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like wave down and then try and put like a finger over my lips, but understand that that's probably quite difficult to distinguish.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna kind of head off.
For Goodbrand, it looks like he's trying to get your attention, and then it looks like he's either trying to cover his mouth or something. And you're wise enough that you're pretty sure you understand what he means, especially because he's not actually shouting. You're probably guessing that he's trying to be quiet.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna start walking down the
I think it's
tunnel.
time to follow him. No, God, why is he? Let's go quickly.
And he's leaving
Walrus.
now.
Walrus, you first. You can go down. I'm sure you will be the fastest.
Okay, I'm gonna
Before he gets down. God,
shimmy my way down
fucking
the
skull.
rope.
Okay, make an athletics check. Just to see how fast you're able to get this down.
I have to go back into fantasy grounds.
Oh, you're not into fantasy grounds. I'll just roll it for you.
Thank you.
But
Oh God, I have too many. Quiet monk.
yes,
Well, no, I have one that's I think just your IP somehow.
it's fine. Okay, I rolled you a 16 total, so 10 plus 6. So you do go down pretty quickly. It's still a climb, so it'll take about a minute, but you start getting down and you'll get down pretty quickly. Ethla, you start to go down the tunnel, and as you walk down, you notice the light does get brighter and brighter, but it doesn't look like it ever gets extremely bright. Because as you turn, you do notice that this tunnel kind of what looks like it ends on like a decently sized kind of grate. Like it looks like it ends on like a dead end with a pool, almost, with a kind of a grate looks like in the middle. But it looks like it's been partially filled up because what's on top of the grate, it looks like a weird plant growth that is it's hard to tell. It's like multiple vines or seaweed that's kind of all like mushed together in like a weird cross pattern, and they all seem to be a bright blue color that's just dimly glowing.
Does it resemble any food products when I get down there?
Oh, I'll tell you in a second when you get down
Thank
there.
you.
I am going to like slowly walk towards it, but I'm not gonna get any like closer than 15 feet.
Yeah, I mean to get even within 10 feet of it, you would start you would start trudging water because it is
Okay,
under...
I won't go into any water. I'm not
Yeah.
going into any water. I'll go to like the water edge.
It doesn't look like it's completely like plugged it up. It does look that some water is draining, but there is water, like there is this liquid constantly coming in, so it's just enough to keep the pool a bit filled, but not like continuously filling up.
I left the metal cup by a candle.
Yeah, jump in that water, Bard.
Yes. Are you okay over there?
My hand really hurts.
Cut by a candle.
Yeah, okay. I have a metal cup and I have a candle. Candle's too close to the cup. The cup was really hot.
All right,
I'll be fine.
That's that heat metal second level spell for you.
Not wrong. Are you just looking at it, or are you trying to discern something?
I'm like trying to see what it is, see if I can get any sort of semblance of what it might be. Obviously,
Wisdom saving throw.
No, roll an Arcana check.
Damn, it's not as fun.
Oh, he might make the save here in a second.
Gotta make a
Okay.
save.
5.
Ooh. Ooh.
God, nothing that you can recall resemble this. You do notice as you get a little closer and able to get a little bit more visual on it, it is covered partially by this liquid, but you're kind of just like trying to look at it. Your guess is that it might have grown a little bit, because it looks like the parts of in the middle are maybe slightly older, and it looks like the parts on the outside are like almost like roots, like extending out a little bit. It's not like you see it growing or anything, but your guess is that it might have been here for a little while and it has grown a bit. Other than that, you really don't get anything else, unfortunately. There's nothing really else you discern about it, but at this point, kind of as you're like looking at it, you hear kind of footsteps behind you, because he's not that quiet, as Walrus kind of turns the corner, and you also see this. There's not really a food product that describes it. I guess the best thing you could think of, it either looks like a salad with a lot of blue dressing on it, or it more looks like someone unwrapped a seaweed wrap and then made a pot holder with it, and it's blue.
Okay.
That's the best way you could describe it for food, I guess.
All right, Darkness, you're next.
Does it look threatening really quick before Artist comes down the rope?
Does it look threatening? I mean, other than the fact that it's unknown to you? No, it doesn't look like it's coming at you at the moment or anything like that.
I'm gonna go.
And for the love of
Okay.
God, please just stay down at the bottom of the rope and don't go down that tunnel.
Oh, I said that before I said what I was gonna do.
No, he was
He's
talking.
to
I'm
Artist.
talking to Artis up at the top of the
As
thing.
Artis
I'm
is
just
going
about
down
to
the
start
rope.
climbing down.
Because that is now two of us who have
Fair.
just walked down the tunnel without waiting.
Yep. I'll say
I'm
Artist.
poking it. I'm poking
Artist, it takes
I
you
didn't
but a
think that
minute.
I had to say anything. God.
So you're poking it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna poke it with a javelin.
Oh, smart.
All right.
SMRT.
So I have to stay 5 feet away to poke at it, right? So
Mhm.
As far as I'm aware, you did send the two least intelligent people
correct.
towards this plant first, so
That's why you volunteered.
Are you in Fantasy Grounds yet?
Me? Yeah.
Oh, you
I
haven't
am.
picked your character. That's why.
I had to pick my character because I hadn't had to roll anything yet. So I was like,
Well, you're gonna have
wait
to roll
and see.
something now.
No. Come
roll,
up
roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh, that's fine.
You're good at it.
I'm good at that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you're very
really
good
good at that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hey,
a 19,
Eats that plan.
a 19, so it's a 25
Don't
total.
tempt me.
As you poke it, feel that you see it slightly change its glow for a second, you're unsure if it might be like some kind of defense mechanism or something, but as you do so, you feel like this like pulse of energy like hit you, and you feel your body like your body resists something. You don't know what it is, but you feel your body like force that energy backwards.
Excuse me. Is it
That
uncomfortable?
was canon. That burp was
In-game
absolutely
reaction.
canon.
That's how he resists things. He
No,
burps.
yep, that makes total sense. What was your question?
Was it like? Did it feel uncomfortable or just like? I'm trying to think of the best word to describe it.
It felt uncomfortable. You're not sure if it was painful or anything, but it definitely
Okay.
felt like it was uncomfortable.
Intrusive, maybe.
Yeah, I would say intrusive too.
Felt like you wouldn't want it to happen again.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Is it blocking anything or is it just on a wall?
It's on this grate that, again, this is like a pool. It's like a drainage pool.
Oh, okay.
It probably goes to wherever this all actually drains out to.
Okay.
And there's this grate on the bottom of it, and this mass is covering about like 80% of the grate now.
Oh, okay. So it's on the ground.
It's kind of all like mushled together.
It's on the ground.
So you're like slightly in this liquid, like up to your knees, and like poking the javelin through the liquid at it.
Okay. Can I really fast, because I know Artist needs to get down the rope and everything.
No, you're fine.
Can I step over it?
Stepping over it,
like just to see if we can get by it without fucking with it.
I mean, you could go around it, but stepping
Or
over
around
it,
it,
you would
over
have to
it,
leap.
you know, whatever. You know, just can we go by it essentially in whatever way is less.
I mean, I will
jumping.
say if you seem to start walking around it, and at the moment doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Okay. Then I'm fine.
And I will say, Artis, you have gotten down the rope already. Are the other two coming down?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say because you waited at the bottom of the rope, as he's doing all this, you guys have all descended at this point, made it down pretty quickly, and you can hear what sounds like sloshing, like someone stepping through water down the tunnel, but you don't really hear anything else. You did see a second ago the light kind of flicker a little bit. Like it got a little bit dimmer and then brighter again.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you haven't heard screaming or something like, or anything that has caused you to run into the tunnel or anything.
Okay, once they're all down, I guess we slowly make our way across.
I would make sure to point to everybody to not touch it.
Yeah, so you all arrive and kind of see what I've described before.
Mm-hmm.
The circular room with the pool and the grate and the weird blue mass of vine seaweeds. It's hard to tell, but you kind of all see it, and you see him in the pool, like up to his knees, like about 5 feet from it, telling everyone not to touch it.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
No. If you touch it, something weird happens. I don't know what, but it felt weird. It felt violated in an unpleasant way.
Okay, I'm not touching it. I've heard stories.
Hold on. I'm gonna do something silly.
Oh, I love it. I love silly.
Is there any like loose debris around the floor and like a rock?
Yeah. So near not touching it, but in the pool, you do see like multiple debris. You see like small pieces of wood, stuff like that. Probably stuff that has washed down that has not fit through the grate. Is just kind of all littering the bottom of the pool. So there's some like slightly larger like pebble rocks and things like that, and a couple pieces of wood, some other things like that. So
Okay.
you could easily ask Walrus to chuck a couple to you if you need anything.
Can I just reach down and grab like a small rock, like a kind of a pebble, and then I'm just gonna kind of underarm throw it towards it to see how it reacts. Just kind of like
Sure.
try and
roll just a d20. Just
a flat d20. Okay.
it's a pretty easy thing, but I just want to see. Ooh.
Come
on.
You surprise me.
It hits walrus.
No, what it does is you throw it and it skips along the top of the water and hits the wall on the other side. And you're like, I was trying to get it through the water, and you did something cool. You didn't want to do it though.
Do you need help?
I chuck a thing in it.
Okay.
I don't want to touch it, but I mean, I want another thing to touch it.
I'll just use a javelin. I'll just use a javelin and huck.
You're gonna throw a javelin? I didn't want to do any significant damage.
You said huck something at it, and he's gonna huck a javelin.
Guys, I just want to point out, and I know that this won't make a difference to what's about to happen, but the DM just face palmed. Like,
No, I was
Never saw me before.
Look, number one, I was fucking with my hair. Number two, I face palm at everything. So,
That's true.
no, it's fine. I'm just more curious how this is gonna go. So I'll say you back up a hair and chuck it. I won't make you roll for it. It's like the javelin is easy to go in the water, and it's pretty big size. And it's not moving. It's pretty easy to do. You see the javelin go in, and as it does, it must go into one of the holes of the grate as well, because it does go about halfway before it finally stops. And you do see a little bit more of this liquid starting to drain towards the javelin. Kind of giving a new hole for water to drain in. So the water starts to go down like a hair. But as you do that, you see the glow of this like mass kind of pulse for a second, and then it pulses one more time, and as it does, Walrus, you feel this same energy again, but it actually goes farther at this point, and it hits everyone in the tunnel.
Yay!
Because it goes out that far. So I want everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is that including me who went back to the rope?
If you went back to the rope, no, I didn't hear that.
It's just me and
it wouldn't go that far. It would hit everyone in the circular room, which I assume is everybody else.
What is this? What is this?
So, all right, I'll describe this.
Comeuppance. That's what this is. Comeuppance.
It's only him. Only he gets comeuppance.
Three twos. And a 4.
That was awful.
Okay, so 23 and a 20 for Olive and Walrus, and then a 4 and a 13 for Goodbrand. Walrus and Olive, you feel this energy hit your body, and it resists whatever thing that it's doing. It doesn't feel necessarily painful. It just feels like it's trying to do something. But then
I do not consent.
you see Ethla and Gunbrand kind of get hit by the same energy, and they kind of are like, and they look at themselves for a minute. You guys see
We just
Ethla.
explode.
You for a second think Ethla has vanished. You look over and you just see him go, and you're like, what? And you look and you realize he is now probably about a foot tall. It's hard to tell. But Ethla, you are now like, you suddenly hear, like, you feel your body just shrink, and you look around, and your clothes seem to have done so as well, and you look at everyone, and you notice that they are enormous, and you look and see Goodbrand as well. He's at the entrance of the tunnel, watching, making sure Olive is safe and everything, and you just see him expand until his shoulders are touching the top of it, and he's just like,
What have you done?
I'm gonna go pick up Ethla just between two fingers.
I kind of back out of the tunnel so that I'm standing in the big room.
yeah.
The,
I mean,
the
it's
tall
still
room.
not. It's not very much taller. It's
No. Like back into the rope room where.
Oh, okay, yeah. You
where
kind of have
Artis
to
is.
like slightly. You have to like kneel down and crawl through and kind of push yourself. But luckily, with enough, you're able to squeeze through until you're at the taller room. And now you realize you're about like 13-ish feet tall, probably. Yes.
Don't
What the
ask.
hell?
Huh.
What happened?
They decided to fuck with something.
We were
Never
trying
let
to.
a bard and a barbarian.
If you are proficient in
Can you whisper,
Arcana,
please? That's a bit loud, mate.
I will say if you are proficient in Arcana, I will allow you to make Arcana. For
Anyone?
yeah,
Or
anyone who's proficient in Arcana.
Artists? Nope.
Will?
Well, hell.
Well, shit.
It's salad.
Don't tell him that.
Athletic. Sure. Artist, aren't you proficient in Arcana? Or am I wrong? Oh, no, you're not. Never mind. I thought you were for some reason. Unfortunately, you two don't really know much about these kinds of magics. It seems slightly familiar, but not enough for you to really learn anything about this. But hey, you know now kind of what this strange plant seems to do. Don't know how long it'll last.
Going to make this very difficult for
Sorry, what was that? You're echoing horribly in here. Try and talk softer.
This is going to make things very difficult for exploring.
Quite difficult. You could try to touch it again and see if it shrinks you.
I'm not touching that thing again.
I was kind of hoping that would happen.
Yes. Is that okay?
I think that
know.
is the
You
best.
got some helium handy?
Am I supposed to hit it again?
No. You back out.
I'm getting mixed
Just me and
signals.
him in there. That
Okay.
way, no more shrinky, growy things happen.
I'm gonna just
Right?
put Efla
And
back on the ground.
On my hands and knees in the sludge. God damn it.
Please don't step on me.
Crawl through.
And
I grab the grate and I just rip it off.
yeah, roll a strength check.
Do I get any like bonuses?
Yeah, but I'm just doing it in my head. So
Is it athletics?
actually rolled it with advantage technically.
Is it athletics?
Sure, I'll allow athletics.
How do I roll with advantage? Without
Little
rolling twice?
ADV in
There's
the
an
left.
ADV button at the bottom. Click that before you roll, and it'll
Gotcha.
do it at advantage.
Yeah.
Bottom left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh!
That's a 20 plus 5 is 25, more than enough. You go down and you just reach down. And again, this pool is now slightly less filled anyway, and with your enlarged hand, you just immediately go and grab it, and you just almost like you grab the grate, but you don't realize at the same time that you just press your palm into this weird goo amalgamation of plant, and you just hear a and just you see the bright blue glow like just slowly start to dim, and you rip off the grate.
Fuck.
Well, as you do that and you like take your hand off the grate, you just see it like slowly detach and then just flop down, and it kind of hits the water that is starting to sink in, and you realize it just goes down through the drain at this point, and it actually you slowly see the glow dissipate. You might have killed it, in all honesty. And as you like
Shit.
as you now like let go of the grate, you suddenly see as that dim light like starts to glow, like disappear. You both are now back to the normal size you were a second ago.
Oh my lord. Whew.
Yes, that was not
Small is not fun.
Big is, well, would be funner if it wasn't in a fucking sewer. Can you guys stop poking things that don't need to be poked? Please?
He okay, in my defense, he did it first and then he asked for
In
help.
your defense, you're an adult who can make your own
He asked
fucking
for
decisions.
help. I will not deny help to a friend.
I'm climbing back up.
I am a good person.
Can we keep going this way? Like, is this a dead end?
No, this tunnel specifically is a dead end. It goes down to the.
Keep going.
I mean, you've taken the
What about
grate out.
this? Yeah, what about this this way down? Like,
it looks, number one, looks absolutely disgusting, and number two, it is
Yeah.
decently small. It is 10 foot across, but you notice that it does seem to thin out.
Should have thrown the bard down there while we had the chance.
It does seem to thin out, but you can tell that it's been filled for a while with this disgusting liquid. It is rank, it is bad. And you're starting to look down into it, I would say, with your light and everything. You do notice that the creature that you or whatever this entity is that you just seemingly squashed, you do notice that there are pieces of it that have now like lined some, like, a little bit of the tunnel, and they are just almost black. Like, they're not glowing, they're not doing anything. It's just like black at this point.
Okay.
Dead. Success.
I'm on top of
Success.
Yep. I would count that as a win.
Arthas, do you mind?
I'm on top of the rope.
Fuck. Guess I'll have to get the rope there.
What are you trying to do? Sorry.
I was asking him to clean me, but he left.
Oh, he left. Well, I mean, he's just a quick walk down the tunnel. It's literally, like, right around the corner.
Although he said he went up the rope already.
Oh, did you go?
When he was doing the smashy, I was climbing up the rope.
Oh, got it. So yeah,
I came around the corner.
You came
Arthas,
around the
you-
corner, and you're like, I
Fuck.
need some cleaning, and he's like, what?
All right.
But you do notice, and you guys noticed as you came down, but you were more worried about the glowing. And now the glowing is dissipated. You only have the light that you have around you. You do notice that where the wall is that you climbed up, there is 2 other tunnels that are going in opposite directions, left and right. You're guessing that this is probably like the 3rd layer of these tunnels, and
Yeah.
this is how you get to the additional parts of it. But you don't have to go that way. You could climb back up if you were.
Oh, so there's more paths at
There
the
are
bottom.
more paths, so yes.
Okay.
But we haven't finished the
It was
level
like the
on.
tunnel that you guys have went down with the blue glow has a dead end. It was a dead
Yeah.
end, but there are other paths where this like waterfall is coming into this drain. There are 2 other paths that go down that probably go to the rest of the 3rd layer.
Then I make a marking on the wall,
Okay.
like a separate marking from the other types of markings that we've been making. And I'll tell artists what that looks like when we get there so we can mark it on the map. And
Mhm.
Perfect. So yeah, you quickly mark the wall with your weapon. Just
I just use like a rune.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, you do that, and assuming you all start one by one climbing the rope, getting back together, and doesn't take that long. The stronger people go up pretty first, so they can help pull up the more nimble ones, and it takes a little bit of time. It is a 100-foot climb, but you know, about this whole encounter kind of took about an hour, so you finally get all the way back up, seemingly dealt with whatever that strange thing was, but you realize that you're basically just one like small section away from finishing the 2nd layer at the moment. This kind of sidetracked you from that, but you have that little bit to do, so assumingly you just continue with doing that, and looking for hidden entrances and anything like that. You're still not finding any of that. Other than that particular blue going strange thing, there hasn't been anything that isn't normal.
Well,
For
if
the
nothing
sewers.
else, at least we solved their clog.
I'm not going to remove the pitten. I'm going to leave it in the wall.
Okay, you can do that.
Because when we go and map the 3rd level, we may have to come back to the 2nd level to climb down to reach those
Yeah.
midway passages.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. But another 45 minutes go by before you finish mapping as much as you can of the second layer. And you realize so far, again, everything seems to connect correctly. There doesn't seem to be any place that is going where it's not supposed to at the moment. And you're still slightly noticing, like, you know, nothing is too tight. There still could be other things built around. But nothing seems to connect to this. That's still a possibility. But I'll even assume you have enough time throughout the day. I'll assume that you guys go to the third layer and start mapping that out. And you're starting to see, again, the rises in that also seem to connect correctly. And they do seem to be where all these rises are coming from, like the rise that you just came from. They do seem to go out into a tunnel that dead ends into a similar grate. But none seem to have any problems as you had with the other one. So far, it seems like. So you find 2 of those. You still haven't found the one that you found that creature in, but you find the other 2 on the 3rd floor, and 4 or 5 hours go by continuously mapping until you realize you're about halfway done. You're guessing on the bottom section before you realize it's getting late. With the amount of time that you guys have spent doing all that, realize that you could push and continue, or you can go back and rest. So it's up to you guys whether you do the other.
Question before I answer that, as you are the holder of the actual map. Those side passages that came out in that drop where we found the blue plant, do any of the upper 3rd level passages come into that drop?
They eventually do. I mean, it's not the same drop that goes from the 1st floor all the way down. It's
this particular drop
but it's all one system of tunnels. So there is a 2nd level drop that goes to that one, and then there is a tunnel that connects a 1st level drop not too far from that. So it's not one continuous, but it all it looks like it flows that way. So it, you know, basically, yes, something from the 1st floor could drop down to that grate if it wanted to, but it's not a direct pathway. It does have to go through some stuff.
But you said that there was some side tunnels sort of partway down the drop. So have we managed to find any of those side tunnels?
There's not any side tunnels partway down the drop. It was at the bottom.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I'm saying when you guys have climbed any of these, you have not found any like tunnels that are halfway. There hasn't seemed to been. But you haven't found the tunnels that connected to the one that you just messed with yet. You're guessing it's probably on that side, and you just haven't gotten to it yet. So, yeah, so far nothing seems out of place. There doesn't seem to be any extra tunnels and something that seems to go any secret places or anything like that yet.
Well, for the rest of you, I'm up for wrapping it for the day. My hand's starting to cramp up, and climbing the rope certainly didn't help. And I don't know what sort of effects that plant had on you two.
All I know is that I was small, and now I'm no longer small. I'm just happy that every part of me went back to normal size.
Thought that was hilarious.
I'm thinking of renting a different room just in case in the middle of the night they go in plants.
It's up to you. You could do that.
I feel completely plant-free, don't worry.
Before
I'm
going to
actually
bed, I
gonna
cast
do
Lesser
that.
Restoration.
I've read some really ancient and obscure stories, and yeah, I'm just gonna have a separate room for tonight.
Okay, casting Lesser Restoration. You feel slightly better. You're not sure if it did anything or not, but
You can cure a disease and things.
no, I know.
so-
I'm just saying it's not like you saw a disease go away. It
Yeah.
could have. There could have been a hidden disease that could have. What I'm
And I'll-
saying, What I'm
Cast it
saying-
on the skull too.
Okay.
You're so kind.
So you do that for both of you. I'm just saying you don't see anything visual and you don't feel
Yeah.
anything necessarily. It could have easily done so, but you feel a little bit better knowing that if there is, you got rid of it.
Peace of
That's
mind.
the best I could have done.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
Later that night.
Yes.
It was actually a curse.
Later.
Surprise!
At the tavern. No. So kind of arriving back and cleaning up as usual, as you've wanted to do, casting Restoration and doing all that, eating dinner as eating in the tunnels is something it's hard to do. So you kind of eat a big breakfast and eat a big dinner. Instead, you guys kind of go to bed as you want, get separate rooms if you want. But the night kind of continues on and you do feel a little bit better that you might have solved another problem that was unknown. And with that, I think we will go ahead and end today there, because I don't want to get into
Seems
something
like
that we don't have to do it. But yeah, that was fun.
Was.
Yeah.
You guys found
Silly blue
something
salad.
interesting. Let's see if a connection ever gets made of what the hell that thing is.
Probably not.
Or
Good
yep,
friend isn't that smart.
Get lost. It'll get lost to time as it always does.
Yeah.
Um.
Doesn't matter. I killed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's dead now. Although it would have been hilarious if after you ripped it apart and it died, that we just stayed the size.
Oh God. I would have. Yeah, that would have been interesting.
The rest of this campaign, we have a 13-foot cleric and a 1-foot bard. I have to use that high-pitched voice changer for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah. You guys would come up with an attack where he would pick you up and chunk and throw you, and you'd have your
Yep.
rapier out like this.
Just a dart.
Yes.
They'd start calling us Master Blaster.
Nice man, Max Records.
That's great. But that was fun. Hopefully we're gonna be back next week.
I will not be here next week.
I knew Austin will be back. If we're missing someone else, we might delay. But no matter what, we're gonna try every Tuesday. Check the schedule. Check my Twitter. I tweet out every time we're going live for this kind of thing. You know, if you're watching these back,
Thanks, Stormy.
you know, we're gonna keep going with this until TPK, and then we're just gonna start over. No, kidding. Haven't TPK'd yet. Let's hope. Let's pray.
Yeah, not in this campaign. You haven't.
That was not a TPK.
It was
that was a
technically.
half kill. Half petrified.
No. Technically, everyone died.
Everyone got incapacitated. But
Permanently.
not everyone died. That's where it comes.
I feel like that's a semantic.
3 were
right
dead
there.
and 3 were stoned. That's it. They're not dead. They weren't dead, and it was quickly fixed. It doesn't matter. We're not going to argue about it.
In the storyline, then 3 other adventurers showed up and unpetrified
that
them
is
and was like,
actually-
"Oh my
That's
god!"
actually what happened.
They were chasing other adventurers who happened to come upon them.
Yeah.
So, that is pretty much exactly what happened. But either way, we'll hopefully see you guys next week or the next time we have an episode.
Mhm.
Hopefully everyone had a happy holidays, and this is the last 2021 also, so hopefully 2021 ends up pretty good.
Aliens. 100%.
Hopefully we roll a natural 20 on luck next year.
All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye, internet.
Bye-bye.